Welcome back to As Long as You're Breathing. And this is an Every Life is a Story event. And we are continuing with our anonymous story, Twin Flame, Journey of the Heart for Healing, Wholeness, and Happiness. But before we do, I want to say that whenever you're watching this, whether it's Valentine month in February, whenever it is, we want to honor all kinds of love. We want to honor all kinds of relationships because everything in life is about relationship. Because we are all energy. We are all part of a whole. And so it values the uniqueness of each of us, because each of us being plugged into our own vibrational frequency is what brings order to chaos. It's what causes everything to flow the way it should. And we each are having the life we came here to have, our highest and best good, our divine soul blueprint, and the whole, the collective is then, let's happy, healthy, whole, and complete. And everybody is living their best life possible. That's the way it's supposed to be, as long as we're breathing.
Until you stop. Make the edge find you on your own mountain top. As long as you're breathing, keep living. As long as you're breathing.
Hi, welcome back, you all. So this is our fourth episode. I'm lost now. I don't know what episode it is. 1, 2, 3. This is episode 4 of this series. And I'm really enjoying doing this series. So I want to, so we don't go too long. I just want to because we're getting down into the story now. So I want to recap briefly. If you missed the whole story, that's in episode 1. And I talk about, it's an hour long, and I talk about relationships in general, and then some about Twin Flame and some about the story. And then in episode 2, I don't get past the first paragraph where she says that she is remaining anonymous to respect her twin's privacy. And I talk a lot there about respecting the other person in a relationship. And then the third episode, we talked about what's the difference between karmics, soulmates, and twin flames. And well, kind of what twin flames are here to do. So I'm just going to kind of pick up and just to kind of make the story cohesive for us. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it takes so long. But let me see. She was doing a meditation for twin flames. She didn't believe in twin flames, okay? She didn't even know what twin flames were. Spirit told her to do this meditation. She did it. She first saw the face of her true love, of her first love, but that face was gone. And everybody else might have been happy about that had she told them, because everybody always thought they belonged together and they were like this ideal couple. So yeah, but she wasn't surprised. She was, but she wasn't. She was surprised because she didn't believe in twin flame. But had she done the meditation a year earlier, then that would have made sense to her. But now the face that was before her, we'll pick up there. But in an instant, his face was gone, and the next face that appeared took my breath away. In that moment, I totally understood everything that I had been feeling and been happening to me since I first saw that face and had met that man, my twin flame. I went from being oblivious to twin flames, to skeptical at best, to a totally true believer, just that quickly. My heart just knew it was true. Then I heard Spirit say, you need to understand that your twin wears a mask, just like your first love did. I did ask for clarification, but did not get any that I perceived. I was so overwhelmed with emotions and other questions, I just let that point drop for now. My first love had kissed me when I was just a girl, and to be honest, most of my life I had never understood why we were not together. I always knew he loved me. Every time the relationship I was in would become troubled, I would find myself wondering and holding out hope still for that long-lost first love. We'd been in touch for several years as friends, and he would frequently say that he had things he wanted to explain to me, but he would not even talk to me on the phone, only message, let alone actually go through with explaining. At first, I really wanted to have that conversation, but at long last, 40 long years last, things for me had totally changed. I was curious, of course, and he was my friend, Whatever it was, it really seemed to trouble him. So I was certainly willing to listen if he ever decided to talk. But for the first time since I had known him, nothing, absolutely nothing he could say was possibly going to make a difference. My heart now totally belonged to the man I had met, and I finally understood why he had been able to break the hold my first love had really always had on me. Wow. So I've never heard of anyone else before doing one of these meditations and having two faces shown to them. I'd never heard of anyone else who first saw their first love. So that had to be something for this person. That had to be like, whoa, okay, well, 40 years I hadn't been able to forget this person. That makes sense. And she says it would have if it had been a year earlier. But it wasn't a year earlier. Since then, she had met someone. And I hear the Roberta Flack song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, every time I think about this event. That's the song I hear. So I can't imagine. I'm quite sure she did too, or does still. Because that's one of the things with twin flames is frequently you kind of know what's going on with the other based on songs that are given to you by spirit, by source, by the ethers, by being a part of the collective, however you want to look at energy exchange and us being able to be in touch in some way, communicating in some way across the quantum field. Songs are frequently it. So if I'm hearing it every time I read it, I can only imagine that every time she thinks about it, the song comes to her mind, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, because that's how it works with twin flame. But yeah, it's like, so, she goes on to tell us about the relationship and about the fact that, they were friends. He wouldn't even talk to her on the phone. But he had something he wanted to tell her, something he wanted to explain about why all these years, yes, we were a perfect match in every way. We would have been this dynamic super couple. There's no doubt about it. The world was right there, except there's something you don't know. And I can't even look you in the eye and tell you. And so I did a whole teaching on communication and why we should look each other in the eye and why we should use all of our senses for communicating. I'll put the link for that down below if y'all would like. But yeah, he was never going to do that. And she knew it. She's like, okay, he's not even going to talk to me on the phone. I'm never going to know. But still, that had not changed the fact that when things were troublesome in her life, there was still a part of her that was like, maybe. I mean, he's, maybe. But then she saw that face for the first time. And it didn't matter what that first love that she took 40 years to get over had to say. It just didn't matter. And now she knew why, because he was her twin flame, something she didn't even know about, didn't even believe in. But now she believed because everything made sense suddenly. But as I said, I'd never heard of a story before like that. But I know why this one was, and so does she. It's because Source, Spirit, needed to tell her something that she really needed to understand about her twin flame journey she was about to be on. And it was metaphorically the same as her first love. Her first love wore a mask of some sort and hid something from her, would not even communicate with her, would not look her in the eye to tell her what it was. And she'd been 40 years not knowing. 40 years allowing this mask to stay on and not disconnecting from it, but had become friends, had a relationship with this person. And there are multiple reasons for it, which I know this person, so I know what they are. But regardless, it was her friend. And so she was still friends with this person who wouldn't talk to her on the phone, wouldn't look her in the eye, wouldn't tell her why. Yeah, we were that super couple. There's no doubt about it, but no. And someday I'll tell you why. I mean, talking about dangling a carrot out there, talking about the cats on the roof story here. I mean, 40 years of this. Okay, so they hadn't been in touch that whole time, but still, she had let that wondering go on for 40 years. Her twin wore a mask. I mean, the first love wore a mask. And Spirit wanted her to know your twin does too. Now, she asked about the mask, and she didn't perceive any answer. But she also admits, I was very emotional. I was full of other questions. And okay, so he wears a mask. I just want to know more. What else can you tell me? What else? Wait a second. I didn't even believe in twin flames. So that part was not totally lost on her. She realized there was some sort of significance, but what? Well, she'd been 40 years and hadn't found out about the other mask. It didn't occur to her to say, hold the phone. I don't allow that in my life. So he can wear a mask. You can be my twin flame, but I won't let that energy into my life because that's going to drain energy from me. If that person doesn't respect me enough to take the mask off, that's going to take energy from me. And so, no, he can be my twin flame, but no, he gets no more of my energy. He wears a mask with me. But the first love got her energy for 40 years, so she didn't have that in her to do. And that's what she knows from this now, is she accepted this whole, he wears a mask, and okay. She didn't demand to know. She didn't say, hold on a second here, Spirit. You know me. I don't let people wear masks in my life. So if you're not going to tell me what this is about, and he's not going to take the mask off, okay, so I've got a twin flame. Tell me why I needed to know this, but it's not because I need to be in a relationship with that person. That's for sure. Because that person does not respect me. That person is keeping something from me. That person is false with me. And I don't allow that in my life. She didn't do that. No. What she found out about herself was her whole life, she had been letting everyone wear whatever mask they wanted to wear. If they wanted to keep something from her, if they wanted to be dishonest with her, if they didn't want to be transparent with her, okay. And she had overcompensated her whole life by trying to be just the opposite, thinking that if she behaved a certain way, well, then they would reciprocate. That's all it took, is that I just have to behave this way, and then everybody else will too. They'll see I'm a good person, and I'm open, and I'm honest, and I will, there's no mask. I'll tell you, what do you want to know? And so she would go into every relationship with that expectation. Here I am, this is who I am. Let me tell you, this is it. And so now, who are you? And yeah, sucker, put the mask on, tell her what she wants to hear. And she would be oblivious to this because that behavior just never occurred to her. It never occurred to her that everybody in her life had been doing that and that she had been oblivious her whole life. Her parents had masks with her. Her family had masks with her. Her first love had masks with her. Yeah. And she was oblivious to it. That's why she accepted. She just dropped the point. She moved on to all the other emotions. Because the concept of wearing a mask with someone, especially your twin flame, why would a twin flame do that? Now that she knew what they were, now that so there must be something I can do now. He's got a mask on. I need to do something about it. This person is not handling a relationship at all from the energy management standpoint. And even though it is twin flame, and even though that's what Spirit told her, you got a twin, Spirit also said, heads up, he's wearing a mask. And she should have said, thank you very much. But no, thank you. When he takes the mask off and we're in vibrational alignment with one another and are honest with one another, okay. But until then, I'm going to be happy, healthy, whole, and complete in and of myself because I understand energy. And first and foremost, I have to know how I want the rest of the world to treat me. Then I treat myself that way. That is my total self-care. That is true self-care. I know myself so well. I know what I need, and I know how I want the rest of the world to treat me, so I treat myself that way. And then I show mutual respect to the world, and I treat the world that way. Now, obviously, this person's not in alignment with me and doesn't do total self-care because they're wearing a mask with me. So until they do, I'm not judging them. Who knows what went on in their life that caused them to have this mask on? I'm not saying I'm so much better than they are. Look at me. I'm doing total self-care here. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, this is who I am. This is what you can expect of me. I'm going to do my total self-care. And that means, twin flame or not, there's not going to be a relationship with somebody who's wearing a mask. If she had been doing energy management, that's what she would have done. And she would have stayed in her vibrational alignment, and that person was not in alignment with her, and she would have just moved right on down her timeline. Now, what would have happened with that person? I don't know. They were twin flame, no doubt about it. There's an amazing attraction. There's meant to be. There's going to be. So perhaps that person would have kept coming into her field, but she could check and see, are we in alignment? Nope, still got the mask on. Okay. And then, okay, I manifested that into my field because there's such a strong attraction to us just energetically, naturally. But I'm doing my total self-care. So even though I manifested it quite passively, but I did, just by being me, I manifested it. We're not in alignment. So I'm not going to show gratitude for that manifesting. I'm not going to put energy into that. I'm not going to choose that manifestation. I'm going to let that one stay out there. And I'm going to pick this one because this one's in alignment with me. And that may be another person, or it may be that she went on with putting energy into her career or herself, or another passion that she had, or her children, or maybe she had a hobby, or maybe it was all those things. Whatever else was in her life that she needed to put gratitude into, energy into, to keep it in her life. Because if we do not put energy into something, that's why we have to do gratefulness. Gratefulness simply means we're still putting energy into something, therefore we're still attracting it to us. Become ungrateful for it, you're not putting energy into it. If it's not coming towards you, what's energy? It's going to go somewhere. And if you're not attracting it to you, it's going to go the other way or go right by you, but it's not going to come to you anymore. So that's what she would have done if she had been practicing energy management. But she didn't know about twin flame. She didn't know she was an energetic being. She didn't know he was an energetic being. She didn't know this is how you handle relationships. All she knew was from the first time she'd ever saw that face, life had been different. She was even over the first love, who she had loved for 40-something years, and let him wear a mask that whole time. And now I know why. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay, I didn't believe in this, but I even believe. I went from not believing to 30 minutes ago, read the article, did the meditation. I am a true believer, totally. I know this makes sense. It resonates with me. It's in alignment with me. I get it. As a matter of fact, it's the only thing about this that makes any sense. From the first time ever I saw that face, finally, this makes sense to me. Because nothing else about it has made any sense, but this makes sense. So she knew. It resonated with her. You see, we know when we hear the truth, and masks aren't truth. Again, it doesn't make her the good guy and the one wearing the mask the bad guy. There is no good guy, bad guy when you're doing energy management. There just is, are you in vibrational alignment with one another? And if you're not, then you don't set expectations and have an outcome in mind and put energy into an outcome that you can't make happen. It's relationship. It takes both people. And if they're not in alignment with you, you can't manifest them into alignment with you. You can't do anything to make them in alignment with you. All you can do is be who you are and do your total self-care. So you are the best you that you can be, and your life is whole and complete as possible, and all of those things. And then if they ever get there too, and the two of you are in alignment, then you're ready for one another. But if they don't, they don't. But yeah. Now, she didn't know she had a twin flame all of this time. There are people who do know that they have twin flames. And as we get down into it, we'll talk about that too. They don't know they have a twin flame, but they know something. There's something going on in their life. They know there's something that's missing. There's something every relationship they've been in, it'll be like, I do love that person. I do care about that person. This does feel right for now. And yeah, I may have taken vows that said it's going to be forever, but everything in me knows this isn't forever. Doesn't mean I don't care about that person the way I'm saying I do. Doesn't mean that I don't want it to be, that I don't want it to stay this way, but everything in me knows, no, that's not my forever person. So when she met this person, her twin flame, she doesn't say so, but she certainly says everything started to make sense, and it was certainly impactful enough that it got her over the first love. So we're going to end it here for today. And there are many meditations that go along with this to help you through the various aspects of it. I'm going to do a meditation for you about people who wearing masks. And there's perhaps where Spirit will reveal the mask to you. There is that possibility. If it is for your best and highest good, then Spirit will do that for you. Spirit will give you information. If it is not, you're not going to get it. But I am going to do a meditation where you can ask. If you don't get information now and you do some more growing and healing and move down your timeline, try it again. You may get it the next time. So I'm going to do that meditation for you. And then I'm also going to do a meditation for how do you handle the fact that you have let people wear masks in your life your whole life. A meditation to release that, a healing meditation for that. So that's the two meditations that are going to be attached to this one. And in the meantime, you all, you know what I'm going to tell you. I honor all kinds of love, all kinds of relationships, because we are always in relationship. And I'm so much enjoying this Every Life is a Story event because it's February, but it doesn't have to be if you're watching this some other time. As long as you're breathing. I want you to be living in great big capital letters. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and love in them too.